Let's unmute. Hey, thanks for logging in. This is the Save Rings over at V-Gaming. Today we're going to make it a twofer because I got to get a video out. This was something that broke kind of late yesterday. Thought it's worth pointing out. I may or may not have brought this up in a previous video. Oh yeah, follow me on Twitter at V-Gaming and on my Steam group at V-Gaming. We give away games over there. So thanks for that. Enough. Age of Empires 2, the Immortal Edition, or whatever you want to call it, is also going to be coming to PlayStation 5. That's pretty crazy because this is a genre that is kind of lacking over there. This is a good pick to sit over there as well. Whole new audience gets to play it. There is already a console version of this that's already available on the Xbox. And I believe the version of this that came out for PC you could also use with your controller if you wanted to, or is that just a separate version? Either way, Age of Empires, that's kind of a big deal. This has been a game that Microsoft's been making since forever. I think the first Age of Empires was like, what, mid-2000s? Or not mid-2000s, mid-90s? Early 90s? You know what? I was looking up the Uncharted games. Let's look up the Age of Empire games. Age of Empire series. The first game was Age of Empires, released in 1997. 9 total games within the series have been released so far, as of October 2021. So yeah, I thought that was kind of a big deal. You see a lot of big Microsoft titles coming. If Flight Simulator comes to PlayStation, that'd be amazing too. I think that's only a matter of time as well. It makes total sense too because, they can make it work with the PSVR. Flight Simulator could end up being the killer app for the PSVR. That'd be amazing. They should totally do that. But yeah, I just thought this was kind of a big deal right here. There's been a lot of stuff going on in gaming. It's really interesting to see what's going on with the console market. Seeing Microsoft literally try to change the game, so to speak. But I was just kind of rifling through, trying to see what the news was, the gaming news. And I came to PC Gamer, and right here at the top, the first 10 seconds of gameplay from the next Battlefield looks a lot like Battlefield 3. Playtest signups are now live. I should do this. I think I should do this. I'm dying for a good Battlefield game. Delta Force is pretty good, and it looks pretty good, but I haven't touched it yet. What was the other one? Battle Block, or not Battle Block, but what was the blocky one that was out last year that everyone was playing? That blocky Battlefield game. I forgot what it was called, but that did pretty well as well. So I figured we sit here and we watch the trailer together. So make this full screen. We'll turn that desktop audio up. Turn all my mics pretty much all the way up. All right, you guys ready? It's 5 minutes. We're gonna sit through this, and I'll stop and comment as we go.
Defending that last point in Britain.
I will say this though, Battlefield has a long way to go, but they could turn it around so easy with just a really good, solid, on the ball one. If you make this more like a combination of like Bad Company 2 and like Battlefield 3 or 4, how those both turned out. If you can make this a solid combination between those two with slightly bigger maps and more intimate maps as well. So like the intimate ones like Metro and things like that, but then also like big ones with like lots of vehicle stuff. If you can get a nice balance of that and make it more like Bad Company 2 as far as atmosphere and as far as mood and vibe goes, but kind of make the gunplay and the gadgets and stuff more like 3 and 4. You're onto something. And you could easily turn this series around with that. So high hopes for this one because Battlefield is a goated series, as the kids say, and Call of Duty deserves some competition. So let's go.
Breakthrough.
You and your squad
Is that
going
Metro?
together trying to accomplish something.
Helicopter crashes into the building next to you, and all of a sudden the roof drops on your head.
Vehicle play is
Those Battlefield moments. They're talking Battlefield moments.
You get a bit sweaty in your palms.
A bit sweaty.
Full all-out military experience.
That was 4.
It's just unlike any other game I've played.
All right, let's go. I wish I was good at flying.
This franchise comes with a long history.
I should just try it with my controller, huh?
But the question is, how do we continue to build on that and push Battlefield to the next level?
I have pretty much all of them except for that last one.
I've been playing Battlefield since long before I joined the team. When
Let's go.
1942 first came out, the amount of fun that we all sat down and had with it is just, still like a fond memory.
Here's the man.
So in joining the Battlefield team, it was about the opportunity to give that team that space to do something just more amazing even than they've done in the past.
Oh, him.
We
That's the
set
guy
out
from
with this
Respawn, right?
ambitious idea of creating this new Battlefield universe.
In
And to
Activision,
make
right?
that vision reality, we had to think big.
Each of our 4 studios comes with its own culture and expertise into what we call Battlefield Studios.
Like Halo Studios.
One team that spans across the globe and combines 20 years of franchise experience with emerging talent.
Okay, so they just handed it off to each other.
DICE has such a rich history with Battlefield. We've been working on it for years and years. But we also want to do something bigger and better than we've ever done before. And you can't do that with one studio.
What studio?
DICE is
Please make this good.
for the multiplayer part of the game, which incorporates things like destruction systems, class play, squad play, vehicles, gadgets, all of those kind of underlying systems that drive the experience.
So the main part is still DICE. That's what everybody
So here
comes
at
for.
Motive, we're working on multiplayer maps, and we're also working on single-player mission content.
Okay.
We're driving a cinematic experience to the level that's never been done on Battlefield before.
This all sounds great, but come on.
Ripple Effects has a long history of working on the Battlefield franchise.
We're
Okay.
working on an experience that is really going to open Battlefield up to a whole group of new players.
Oh boy.
Really still exciting that core audience that has made this franchise so successful.
The new audience.
Criterion have been supporting Battlefield for a decade now, and now we're going to bring that to the table as a fully fledged kind of partner in the Battlefield studios.
Okay.
Mainly we've been focused on the single player
Hold on.
experience.
I see him look away. You're a terrible liar, bro.
Bring that to the table as a fully fledged kind of partner in the
He lacks confidence there. He got roped into this. He's not quite sure how this is going to turn out. Look at that. Look at that 1,000-yard stare. I hope I'm reading into this too much, but let's go. Man, I really want Battlefield to be good.
Focused on the single player experience. So the campaign is back for Battlefield.
That's cool. Nobody really plays it for that, though.
We have never before had this many teams and talents dedicated to the development of Battlefield. And we have a plan to create a new, exciting future for the franchise alongside our players.
So they combined efforts and now they're hunkering down like Halo.
So I think it's about giving the team this time to really hone their craft.
Oh boy, or else.
We have to prototype, play test, get feedback,
and then repeat that loop.
Okay, so game development.
Over and over again.
So game development then.
We have
Gotcha.
to find gameplay that really resonates with the players and then build on that.
Come on.
Battlefield Labs is our new development initiative where players will get to test specific focus areas in the game.
Oh, they want to make sure you like it before they ship it.
We've done similar things in the past, but this is a whole nother level. We're doing it before we launch the game, and we're doing it with so much more content.
It's an exciting way for us to interact with our audience before things go live and make sure that what we have is really fun and polished.
And we have to test
Oh.
combat.
They know they can't screw this up.
Maps and modes.
We're going to test all the new features that we're putting
This
out.
is their live
Test
service.
hardware like weapons, vehicles, and gadgets.
We can try
Make it good.
but also validate what players are expecting for Battlefield.
Yes.
That feedback is crucial in helping us know what
Put
to
old maps in it.
prioritize, what needs improvement, and what feels like a true Battlefield experience.
Thank you.
We're pre-alpha, so now is the time to test all the experiences our teams have been building for our upcoming launch and beyond.
There's the
Join our
sound.
Discord, where you can learn more about our new closed testing environment. We call it Battlefield Labs.
CTE.
Let's build Battlefield together.
So this is totally going to be like live service from the ground up. I would have been dead already. Battlefield Labs, sign up now. Sponsored endorse this game. So what do you think, chat? Do they get another chance? I think they do. I think they do. I think if they nail it with the Battlefield game, I think they're sitting pretty. I think that saves EA, because EA is going to be circling the drain next right after Ubisoft. So this could really save them. I really hope they do a good job. They're due for a good Battlefield. I feel like Battlefield at its peak was like right around like 2012 or so. That's when they had Battlefield Heroes, Battlefield free to play, and Bad Company 2 and Bad Company 2 Vietnam. That might have been like the best chunk of Battlefield ever of all time right there. And then Battlefield 3 came out, and that was good too, but they took Heroes and play for free offline for the sake of that game, and that kind of sucked. So I'm rooting for them. I want a good Battlefield game. I love the Battlefield series, and I would like a new one to sink my teeth into. They really need a Bad Company 3. I think that's where they would really take off. Maybe they can incorporate it in here. My wish list for this, I guess, since no one asked, I hope that this game is modular. I kind of do like the fact that there's different studios focusing on different things. That means they can pivot and do different things. Like the team doesn't get tied up trying to fix one thing, because they might the team that would be in charge of fixing or changing one thing might not be the same team that's doing the entire rest of the game. So I think that's good. They can remain flexible. So if there's something going on with the single player, there's teams and studios dedicated just to that. And if there's something going on with the multiplayer, and they have to get in there and balance it, fix it, change servers and stuff, there's a whole separate organization that handles that. So I feel that that's off to a good start. So the game's not bogged down overall because they have to focus on one or two big things. I would like to see a homage to the previous games that came before it, like the games I just mentioned. I'd like to see older maps in there as well as newer ones, and maps of all different sorts of sizes. I'd like to see all the previous modes that everyone enjoyed on the previous Battlefields. You know, your TDMs and your conquests and your free-for-alls and all that kind of stuff. And I hope that they first and foremost always consider the player's position, because that's when Battlefield really shines. When they want to make a game for the players turn out in droves for these, and that's what's got them this far, and that's what's even earned them the benefit of the doubt after the disaster that was the last Battlefield game, the 2042. People have been asking for a sequel to 2041 for like 20 years, and that's what you gave them. So even after that, and it's not like Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 1 were terrible either. It just wasn't 100% what most people wanted. So if we can get a return to like Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 with respect to all those older games, and trying to keep up with what's new now, just don't try to Call of Duty-fy it too much, or you just stick with Battlefield. If you make a good Battlefield, people will come and people will spend money if they feel that because they'll feel that it's worth it. If it's anything like your previous ones, the ones that I just mentioned, not to mention Battlefield 2, 1942, all that kind of stuff. But don't try to make it too user friendly. Don't try to dumb it down too much, because those other games sold well as they were, and it's not like people have a hard time following something that's complex if they like it. Look at League of Legends and Dota. Those are like two of the most obtuse, hard to get into games ever. Look at something like Valorant. Not very straightforward either for your average shooter fan. There's like magical powers and guns and all kind of stuff, abilities and heroes to balance. Even Overwatch, there's a lot going on for your average player. Your average player is not a rocket scientist. Let's leave it at that. So you don't have to dumb it down too much. Your Battlefield games sold millions and millions of copies to this point, being what they were. Don't dumb it down too much. Your modern audience, if they want to come and play it, they'll get into it. That's how you've been attracting players this whole time. So that's my wish list. Don't dumb it down. Pay respect and homage to the previous games. Listen to your player base. And be ready and quick to change. And always keep your player base first. And I think you'll be okay. And like I said, I'm actually pulling for Battlefield, and I'm actually pulling for EA on this. But yeah, that's about it. That's my video for the day. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. Hit me up on Steam and Twitter at @V-Gaming. Talk to you guys later. Peace.